I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And GEV are going for a drive. The all-new 2025 Electric G Wagon.
With G-Turn.
Oh my God, what is that? No launch control, not able to turn the traction off.
On the road.
That's good, it sounded like a V8 motor.
We'll talk about that real soon.
Horsepower and torque.
579 horsepower, 859 pound-feet of torque from a 116 kilowatt-hour battery with 4 electric motors and 4 transmissions.
This is the Electric G Wagon. Spoiler alert, it's friggin' awesome.
It is incredible in so many different ways.
So now there is a G550, which is an inline 6. We have the 580, which is the electric one. It is not an EQG.
That was the internal code name that they called it before officially naming it 580.
And there's still a G63 with twin turbo V8.
Yeah, so look forward to that video. And we are in France driving all of these in the south of France. It is beautiful out here. Thank you, Mercedes, for flying us out here.
It's a little rainy.
A little cloudy. You know, Top Gear made it sound like it was like, you know, the best place to go. And it's pretty nice, but if it was a little sunnier.
So what special features does this have? Why the heck were we spinning around in circles?
So this has many features called G something. So we experience G turn and G steering.
So G-turn lets you spin around in 2 full rotations, a full 720 when you're in your low range and you're in your rock mode.
Yes, and then you push this hard button to do that, which is kind of crazy in Mercedes to do that, but I'm glad they did.
It's where your locking diffs would be if you were in a regular G-Wagon.
And then you hold your paddle for your direction and you just floor it and spin.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then G-turn locks the back inside wheel and then you give gas or you can go with no gas and it just pulls you around so wildly. The way you did that, it was like Tokyo drifting through mud at 1 kilometer an hour.
Yeah, I really got my groove there. I figured it out because it powers the outside wheels. And it's similar to the way the Bronco does it, but because it's electric, it can power each individual wheel a much better way. So this is actually Mercedes' first individual drive vehicle. It is all-wheel drive, but it's actually individual wheel drive.
It's crazy that they all have their own transmission.
Yeah, let me explain that just real quick. So the low range thing, that's what enables us to be able to do all those crazy features. So because this has 4 electric motors, which are on each axle near the wheels and tires, we also have 4 transmissions next to or built into those motors. That's what enables the low range gearing.
And what's cool is that whole spinning thing, I'm like, okay, we're doing it on gravel. That's why we're on the orange car because that's the one for getting muddy. I asked him, I'm like, can we just do that on like pavement? He's like, yeah, but you'll ruin your tires. And I'm like, well, these aren't my tires. So if you buy one of these on tsb.truecar.com for cool gimmicks like you should like that, you just have to get a lot of tires.
Yeah, you might need a set of the Continental recommended tire, which is the Cross Contact LX25.
And then another set, and then another set. Worth it.
Yes.
That's what takeovers is going to be soon. Just electric cars spinning 360s.
Yeah, exactly. The first person who does this in a takeover, by the way, don't do takeovers. I'll watch that video.
And the G-turn is meant for if you like stop at a trail and you have to do a 180, right?
Yeah.
I want to see if I can actually nail a proper 180. G-turn. Unbelievably simple for doing like a proper turnaround.
Yeah. All right.
So besides those 2 really cool features, what's the next G feature?
G-roar, Yuri, like a lion.
All right.
They made this crazy feature where, well, it's not crazy, but the way that they implemented it and the way it sounds is so authentically good.
Listen.
So it sounds, they wanted to make it sound like a spaceship with a V8, and they 100% accomplished that.
Yeah, it's a really good electric-y sound that doesn't feel like it's overkill like the i5s or whatever.
Or like an Acura ZDX where it's just this constant thing and humming and doing things.
It makes you forget you're in an electric car because it's like that little rumble. And then when you're just parked, it has like a little like sound that plays ambiently around on the outside and stuff.
I believe that's called G-Aura.
But when you're just
Gora?
when you're just driving around, then it's like normal electric sound. There's nothing like too special when it's just like rolling and like trying to be known to pedestrians.
And as everyone will probably be wondering, it is fully defeatable. You can go into the infotainment, go to vehicle, go to driving, and turn off that sound and have nothing and just pure silence.
Except for the pedestrian warning stuff, and it's all off when you're rock crawling or in your off-road mode, because you're going to be concentrating. You don't need to be like, am I going to hit this rock?
And if you have it on, it's obviously more powerful or louder in sport mode, which is what we're driving in right now. So if you had it on and then I put you into comfort right now, it'll still be on, but it'll be much more muted. So slow down a little bit, Yuri, and then floor it once it gets a little bit straighter, because we got some twisty roads out here, which are actually beautiful. Still there, but not much.
Yeah, it honestly sounds like a gas engine.
I know, they did a really good job.
You forget you're in an electric car, which is the best kind of electric car.
And the looks of it, you genuinely don't even know until you look closely.
Let's get to the looks.
Let's start with the front end, the grille. Totally different, but also the same.
Yeah, I love that it's just a simple outline. It's got this, like the outline for the lights, the grille is lit up. It looks so simple. It looks old school. It looks like a 70s G-Wagon. And then the hood is a little bulgier.
Yes.
Compared to the 63?
Yeah, so the biggest difference that I've noticed is that the bulge just travels throughout the length of the hood and just keeps going up towards the wipers.
Okay, and then the color. We got a really cool matte blue. That's like the special color for this one, where the 63 has that more tealish blue. It would be nice if they switched up the special colors instead of just shades of blue, but I'm all right with it.
And I think, I could be wrong, that's exclusive to the Edition 1, and the Edition 1 is the only version that we're getting in Canada at launch. And that also enables you to change something on the back, one of the most important G-Wagon features, the spare tire.
Yeah, so it still looks like it, but it's thinner. It is your charging cables, and it's so cool. Like, it looks like that's the option I would take, because it makes it just feel more special and more different for a G-Wagon.
And it's the same, but different enough. It's cool. Good job, Mercedes, on that.
I like how it lines up perfectly with the glass back there.
Yeah. Move around to the side. We don't have any side exhaust on this one. It's not a 63, but it's same overall profile. However, there's one difference in the fenders. It actually allows for more airflow through the fender in the back.
Yeah, cool. I guess they know what they're doing for aerodynamics. And then with this being a all new gen of G-Wagon, what they did was they changed the A-pillar around and added a little spoiler at the top, which increases aerodynamics, and then it also makes it quieter while you're driving on the highway. We were driving at like 120 kilometers an hour, 130 kilometers an hour, and you could hear each other perfectly fine, where they were saying in an older G-Wagon, it would be more difficult to have a conversation. Like, these are so quiet and comfortable now.
Yeah, they really, really are. And then moving on to these wheels, do you like them? Because I really don't. They're just okay.
Yeah, no, I don't like dark wheels.
Yeah, and the design's okay. It's just
the wheels from the G63.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's not electric-y enough, because these have like more like aero.
But those ones with like an aero disc or something would be pretty cool.
And I think that's pretty much it for looks, right? We got like a black roof, which is pretty sweet. And besides that, it just feels normal G-Wagon, which means they didn't get anything wrong. We got like those cool marker lights that you love.
Yeah. You can see your turn signals. One thing I did forget to mention is that you can actually still get a normal spare tire instead of the charging cable spare tire. So you can get like a normal circle. So
do you like the looks of this more than the G63? Because I actually do.
I don't, but I don't mind this whatsoever. Like, to me, they're basically tied, but the G63, if I did give them a ranking, the G63 is a 9 out of 10, and this one's an 8 out of 10.
What color would you pick? I think I'd go tan.
Oh yeah, the tan is really nice.
The tan slaps hard.
Tans are in right now.
Okay, and then a couple other interesting things about the new G-Wagon before you drive. This now has the newer infotainment, the MBUX, that the A-Class first got 8 years ago. Now this finally has it. Wireless and wired Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and the coolest feature, which is kind of the outside, we have keyless entry. So you can put your hand there and it unlocks, touch it to lock it, the mirrors fold in, you don't have to take out your key fob every time. And that's across all the G-Wagons for this gen.
Yeah, so keyless go, and thank you, Mercedes, for actually adding a start-stop button. You don't just like get in the car and just go. It feels like a normal car that happens to be electric, which is the best type of electric car.
And before you drive, I'm gonna give a little handling through these French back roads or whatever we are.
Vive la France, Yuri.
You know, flooring it's not like Hummer crazy lightning fast, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, but it's not slow. Like, it's just kind of perfect. Like, I'm not sick.
Yeah, it's the perfect amount of fast, and it is a 580, not a 63, so it can't really be faster than 63 according to the rules of cars.
Yes.
And it's like, it's fine. And I don't know, let's see, is it so heavy that I can't hit the brakes and stops well and the brakes don't feel weird?
I will get to the weight when I drive.
It doesn't feel bad.
No, it doesn't.
Your turn.
But I need to G-turn.
G-turn visor test. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's okay. We're still doing a 720. Unreal. All right, back to the road. Just gonna floor it on the road. Oh,
Little.
I swear the front tire lifted.
You know what? It goes to 80% power until you have full grip, and then it goes to 100 when you're launching it.
It literally feels like it's lifting the nose every time I floor it. Like, watch, I'm gonna slow down, and then it feels like it jumps. Like, this thing has so much torque. Well, it's got almost 900 pound-feet of torque, and you really do feel that. So good job, Mercedes. I did want to talk about that weight that you mentioned earlier. Guess the weight of this thing. In kilograms specifically, because we're in Europe.
Oh yeah, I think it's the legal limit that it's allowed to be 3,500 kilograms.
3,500 kilograms, because in Europe, you need a special driver's license to drive anything heavier than that. So that is the reason that this weighs, I think, nearly 8,000 pounds, but it's that exact number in North America. But I don't think they've released the official North American figure, because it could be a little bit different, so we're driving a European unit.
Does it have any special lightweight material to keep it under that weight?
Oh boy, Yuri, does it ever.
Loaded question.
We've got a carbon underbody panel that weighs, I think, 127 pounds, which is ridiculously heavy. It is really thick, and the reason for that is because otherwise, if they use steel to protect the underbody and the battery, it would have been 3 times as much, so nearly 400, 500 pounds or whatever. And so this battery is in the ladder frame, and it's in a torsion-resistant casing because they wanted this to be able to off-road.
And this is a modified ladder frame for the EV platform.
But what all of those things also enable for this electric G Class versus the G63 and the G550 is the water fording depth. Yes, I know the battery's at the bottom, but this can go deeper than either of the gas models into water.
That's crazy. I don't know how I feel about that, but if they say it can do it.
Yeah. So apparently that is a thing. Now, the power is really good. No real transmission. There's 4 transmissions, but when you're driving on the road, you're just in 1 gear all the time.
So then what do your paddles do if you don't have a transmission, buddy?
They are recuperation paddles for your regen. So right now I've got a normal regen, and it feels like a normal gas car basically. Now if I downshift, maximum recuperation, let's see if we come to a complete stop. Or if I hold the paddle.
Then you go into intelligent.
Intelligent, yeah, okay, so it does not come to a full stop.
But intelligent's cool, because when you're going down a hill, it knows to slow you down, and they come up to cars. And I feel like the brake pedal isn't sneaking away from you as much as like other Mercedes models might. But I'm not 100% sure, because like I have to like test it out at home in traffic and like really do like.
Well, visually it's not moving, and I think that's a thing that Mercedes is going away from, because people didn't really like that on the EQ products, and I'm glad that this doesn't do that. But then you can go paddle up all the way to have no recuperation, or it just coasts, which is really nice as well.
What's cool about like driving these in sport mode instead of a gas one with a transmission is like if you're in sport mode, you're not necessarily wasting more fuel source, whatever that may be.
Yeah, electricity or whatever. So we do have some drive modes, like you said, individual, sport, comfort, trail, and rock. And now we have adaptive dampers on this one, which are not an option. They come on all the the G580s, and they do vary between the drive modes, and you do notice it. And what this truck SUV thing does really, really well is that it's not bouncy over imperfections like a lot of EVs are, and it does not need air suspension to do that. So good job, Mercedes, on that as well.
Is this the most comfortable G-Wagon, you think?
I think so, for sure. The G550 or 500 that we're driving because we're in Europe is also really comfortable, and the 63, which you guys are going to watch that video shortly, that one is obviously the stiffest in all the modes, even in comfort.
Yeah, but let's listen to the G63 from the outside.
Sneak peek, yeah. I mean, we still got a V8 there, so look forward to that video. But this thing, honestly, for an electric G-Wagon, they killed it. Looks-wise, driving-wise, G-Roar, which honestly I thought was going to be a bit of a gimmick when I got in here, but...
They did a good job. And how does the steering feel? Like, does it feel like pretty like locked in, or does anything feel weird?
No, not
That's
at
the thing.
all.
We just want to know if things feel weird.
This feels like a normal car should. There's nothing strange about driving this. Honestly, if you threw me in here, I didn't look at the badge, I started it, and I didn't think twice. I would think this could potentially be gas-powered. Like some sort of inline six or something, and then someone just fiddled with the noises, and that's about it, because this drives like a normal car in all the best ways. So some interior stuff, Yuri. We still have some cup holders. Looks like they will pass. They are heated and cooled.
For sure, yeah.
We got a wireless charger down there. We got USB-Cs. We got some blue carbon fiber, which is really, really cool.
Nice little accent.
Yeah,
blue stitches too.
And you got your grab handle in front of you.
They really like this grab handle.
Yes, they're very proud of still having that. We already tested the visors. I forgot.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Sorry.
We're spinning around.
Yes,
you getting a little dizzy on us?
Yeah. And then the gauge cluster seems to be normal enough that it doesn't bother me with this power meter. It's kind of like a like a Rolls Royce or something like that. So I'm okay with this.
It makes sense. And then like a lot of other, like the older MBUX infotainments, we can change a lot of the stuff there pretty easily, and it's a lot more simple than the newer infotainments.
Yeah, like in the EQS or EQE. And then the brake pedal also feels completely normal. Like, not that it's even, going away from you or anything. Like, the actual pressure that you give the car when you're braking feels like a gas car.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if it's like...
Very similar.
I don't know if it's like 100% normal, but it seems pretty normal.
It hasn't bothered me.
It hasn't bothered me, but it has me thinking. I'm like, I don't know, it's just, you never know.
Yeah. And then one important thing that we haven't talked about yet, Yuri, the range.
Let me guess. 379 kilometers.
473 kilometers. However, that is on the WLTP cycle in Europe, so there is no official North American rating, but expect it to be lower than that.
When Out of Spec Reviews does a range test in this, I bet you they're going to get 379.
Mercedes has been really good with their other products in terms of range estimates, so I think what they say this will get once it gets to North America will be true.
You said that magic word, and now the infotainment lit up.
Yes.
Currently it is cloudy in VLZ PM with a temperature of 17 degrees. In the evening it will be rainy with temperatures around 14 degrees. What can I do for you?
Is the G Class an SUV?
No, the G Class is a real off-road vehicle.
Those German jokes.
Yeah, we got a couple new ones in this MBUX version.
What do you want to do?
No, stop.
Please stop. And in terms of charging, it charges at up to 200 kilowatts, which is fairly reasonable.
And then with the MBUX stuff, we do have, for off-roading, this off-road cockpit button that if you hold, it shows all your angles and stuff, and it can show your cameras while off-roading, which is awesome to have a shortcut button for that. And then you can also see through the hood, finally.
Transparent hood.
And then we got the camera, I think, lower down there, so if you have a bush bar or whatever it is, bull bar, I don't know, bar, it doesn't get in the way for cameras, but that's nice to have.
Yeah, for sure. All the features in here, everything works really well. We still have hard buttons to control all of that stuff. Our climate is all hard buttons.
Hard button climate, yeah, it's old school, I love it.
These vents look nice, like everything's, the Mercedes that we love.
Yeah, it's the Mercedes that we remember fondly from almost hitting 1 million subscribers, that era of the straight pipes.
Yeah, like these vents and stuff from the E63 Wagon, the original one, like all that kind of similar stuff is all in here. That's why we love this thing so much.
So to go with the comfort and all that stuff, are the seats comfy?
Very comfortable, Yuri. And the bolstering is also really good for these roads out here, which I'm going to use these seats to do a little bit of handling in these southern France roads.
Okay, I'm going to put on my heated and put on some massage too.
Yo, this thing is handling way better than it has any business doing.
Yeah, but electric cars,
considering the weight,
low.
Yeah. It is obviously understeer here and there, and I'm not going to push this so hard because I don't want to end up down these mountains or anything like that, but this thing rips through here. And the traction light is even illuminating on a straightaway.
Yeah.
And you can't turn off traction.
Yeah,
We asked the guy, he said no. Could you imagine if they let you do that and then just start doing 360s just going nuts?
I wonder how many times they tested the spin until they're like, yes, we're going to stop at 720.
It was 5 times.
5 times, that's the record?
Yeah.
Because they showed us, we met the father of the G-Wagon, Frederick.
Yep.
And he was showing us footage of how they checked where water flew into under the hood. And the way they did that was they strapped the guy to the front of like a 74 prototype, and he was just looking down with no hood.
He's not holding a camera. He's just looking.
He's just looking. He's like, that's where it went.
Yeah, so... Yeah,
so they probably tested like 10 spins in a row. Someone threw up, and they're like, let's stop it too.
Yeah, this is enough. Cut it off. Back seats. We both fit. We do have some screens back there, but it's a little tight for me. My face is basically in the screen.
Well, you could recline the seats, so maybe you got to recline a bit back. But there's some games there. They're not like super good. I don't know how to cast stuff there easily. There's no DVD player for it, but that would be nice. But it does not have that. But it's got a plug for headphones.
Yep.
But I'm sure if you owned it, you'd have it figured out and dialed, and you'd be like, yeah, all right, kids in the back, go do that. And then, okay, kids in the back, you can fit a child seat back there. I don't know if your child would be able to close this door.
Yeah.
Because it's so friggin' big and heavy. So let's do some closing door shots.
Slow-mo.
And then the locks sound cool. Hit me with it.
All right, here we go. Well, there it is. And then trunk space, we got plenty of trunk space. It's a G-Wagon.
Yeah,
thing opens from the side as it always does.
And it's still super heavy to close. And then we got a little sunroof.
Yeah.
You like it?
I like it. It's not too big. Don't really care about sunroofs.
Do you like this interior? This is the pattern for the first edition.
Yeah.
With the
I really
gray
like
and the
it.
black.
Yeah, the blue also works. I like how it all works together.
And there are some G-Wagons with even crazier interiors. Like I saw one full leather headliner, and it had like tan down the middle, which really made the speaker pop. Like there are lots of cool options. And then they also have exclusive manufacturer.
Oh no, you can't say exclusive. That's Porsche. It's just called manufacturer.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, Mercedes. Manufacturer, where you can get all kinds of even like crazier stuff in here. And then like all other Mercedes, decent sound system.
Oh yeah.
Decent, if not very good. In the States, we're gonna have, in Canada, Sirius XM with Tune Mix, because it's that infotainment. Then we got 360 cameras that spin all the way around. I don't know, it's just like, I think it's the best stuff from older Mercedes that we loved in a newest Mercedes, and then also in a G-Wagon, which is now almost comfier than like an old GLE was or something.
Yeah, they killed it with this. It's so nice to drive this on and off-road.
Now the real question, not the price, not anything else. Do you like G-turn more than you like the bouncing?
Oh man. Okay.
Because like,
I'm gonna say that I like the bouncing,
I think,
because I can use that on public roads and not wreck the car.
Not wreck the tires.
The car
will be fine.
In general.
I think once you get really good at G-turn, that'll be the funniest thing to use.
Yeah.
Like literally park my car in the middle of my driveway and be like, all right, see you later. Gone.
Yeah, I mean it.
And then like you're gonna have burnout marks on your drive, but how cool would that be?
It is really cool. Like it's a better feature, but I feel like it's useful in much more limited scenarios.
All right, there's a G-Wagon passing by us. What's the G-Wagon way? What are they gonna do? G.
G. Yes, take both hands off the steering wheel. And
Well,
do
we
G.
do have very good adaptive lane centering, all that good stuff that we didn't have in previous G-Wagons.
That's right. It makes this a lot more livable.
This is like a perfect daily, if you can charge at home, which you can, because if you buy this, you're rich. So with all that out of the way, is there anything else? I'm sure this can tow, but we don't know the numbers.
Let's get to the price.
Hit me with it.
We don't have one, unfortunately. This will be available closer to launch date, but I can tell you with 100% certainty, it will be priced more than the 550, but less than the 63.
Let us know in the comments below the price you paid as a deposit to your Mercedes dealership.
Yes, and this is slower than the 63 in 0 to 60, so they can't charge you more than the 63.
But is it cooler than the 63?
Again, I think it's as cool.
Which one would you take? You get one.
63 all day.
I'd go this, just cause like.
Nah, there's gonna be better versions of this, and the 63 is like.
And by that time,
done.
I'll resell it and then buy a 4x4 square.
Yeah, but then by the time you resell it, it'll be a paperweight, whereas my 63 will be worth a fortune.
Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I hope you enjoy the rest of our G-Wagon videos coming up later.